Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
If you're a facilities manager at a warehouse and your HVAC system goes down, it can turn up the heat, literally. But don't sweat it. Grainger has you covered. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products for all your operations, including warehouse HVAC maintenance. And even better, they offer access to experts and fast delivery, so you and your warehouse can both keep your cool. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're not here anymore. Well, where are you?
That's a pretty good piece of art.
Well, I have a comment. Star Tribune has a photographer named Jerry Holt.
Jerry Holt, my man, he's the greatest. He's one of the greatest.
I don't know where he was yesterday to get this picture, but the play photo on today's sports section in Minneapolis is the catch.
Okay. And
it shows that Justin Jefferson didn't catch it. Cam Lewis caught it, and Jefferson said, "No, I believe I'll take that."
Yes, this is exactly what he did.
Wow.
And he ends up with one hand.
One hand.
I declared it the greatest catch I've ever seen in a football game, but now I'm going back to the Willie Mays catch in 1954.
Wow. So there's back to the
greatest
plate.
Catch.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
This was amazing.
I mean, the game is over.
Right.
That guy's got the ball in his hands.
He's got it in his hands.
Now, if he was smart, he just slaps her. Right?
And he
Get rid
said
of
so
it.
after the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they want that interception. It
know.
looks good on the bio, right? But still, he's got it in his hands. He has no reason to think the other guy's going to reach in, take it away from him, and go down to the field one-handed. And by the way...
And not lose it.
And by the way, this was numero uno by a mile, but he made about 4 other ungodly catches, too.
You know how good this game was?
Yeah,
It was
you're
so
right.
good that would have been a good game had they lost.
I had exactly the same idea. It is a great bonus that Josh Allen threw that dumb interception at the end of the game, but if he hadn't, it wouldn't have diminished the game
No,
a lot.
it was a hell of a game.
It wouldn't have diminished
Now,
it
what
at
does
all.
this do? They were the lousiest 7-2 team in football.
7-1.
Yeah,
Or
they're
7-1.
They're now 8-1, and
Now
they're
they're-
only a game behind Philadelphia, which plays tonight against the rugged Commanders.
Right, but where are they now as an 8-1 team? I got
the
people telling me they're
second best
legit.
Oh, I think they're legit. I think they're legit. They are.
Are you in that camp?
Yeah, they convinced me
They are
yesterday.
feisty. They will not. I mean,
Cousins shows a
now,
little feistiness.
I'm not a big believer in this probability stat that ESPN came up with. I've done some tirades on it.
Mm-hmm.
But before Dalvin Cook went 80 yards, the first
81, yep.
first or second play of the fourth quarter, right?
Correct, yes.
The Bills' probability to win was 97%, according to ESPN. So he goes, and then you say, oh, well, they still aren't going to win it. But then they, threw another interception, right? Buffalo was going down to get another touchdown, and then he threw an interception.
Most of NFL games, given the nature of the game, are not fun.
No, you're right.
This was fun.
Yes, you're right. There's close.
Yep.
They're close, but it's a lot of the closeness is based on both teams playing like dog poop, right?
Right.
This was based on two teams with just really good players making ungodly plays. And now you get stopped down on the 4-inch line. Yes. And it would, you should be moping. You should come out there moping, right? We just blew the damn game, right?
Yep.
And But they gave it the big push, let's push it in there, and Josh Allen tries to take off before he's got the ball in his hands, never gets it secure, and they win the game.
Oh, it was fun. That was fun.
It was hellacious.
They're rarely fun.
There's no more minor Viking fan than me, right? I don't give a damn about them, right? I don't really care. But it was great to watch. It was fantastic to watch. As I always say to Viking people, this psychotic Viking fan base, I love the Vikings, and I say that's because you've never met them. Yeah. But not so much this crew, because you're so isolated from them now. They can't abuse you anymore.
They can't hurt you.
No, they can't.
Physically.
They can't tape you up the post. You
You
can't yell profanities.
Crap thrown at me.
Sports writers can't cost them draft picks anymore.
You can't yell profanities. They aren't close enough to yell profanities to you when you're talking to somebody at the next locker and all that good stuff. So. So I don't even know anything about this team.
In fact, are reporters even allowed in the room anymore?
Oh, yeah, they get in the room, but it's all mass interviews, and they have a little stand in there where 8 guys, the idea of sitting there talking by yourself to Kirk for 20 minutes, unless you're an ESPN guy or, some national guy, those days are over, but... yeah, it was a hell of a game.
How do you top that game?
Oh, you don't.
You can't.
I say it's.
You said in 62 years, this was it.
Regular season. You got to. There's some playoff games that you would have to. The Minneapolis
No Super
Miracle.
Bowl has ever been this good.
Oh God, no.
No Super Bowl has come close to being this good.
No, and they talk about the catch. The Dwight Clark catch that won the Super Bowl. That was just a catch. He put his hands up and caught it. Yeah. This was a miracle.
This was a miracle.
This was a
miracle. This was a theft.
Yes, it was a theft. Yes,
I'm going to need that.
Getting away with it.
Yep.
It was a theft of getting away with it.
Excuse me, I'm going to need that.
It was an embezzlement.
On Monday Night Football, former Viking receiver Randy Moss has a segment that's called "You Got Mossed." You guys have seen that before, and someone retweeted that, said, this segment gonna need a new name with the Jefferson one-handed grab, meaning like this is way better than anything Moss ever did on the field.
Like you, I was wondering how I'd write this.
Yes.
I think what I would. I hope.
How would you done? Where would you have gone?
I would have hoped I would have gone with this catch.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think of it all, and of all the greatness, the game is over.
It's over
unless you get the miracle catch. So. And
Mr. Jefferson said, "Excuse me, son, but I need that ball."
Yes, otherwise we losing.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah, it was. I have never. I can't remember the last time I enjoyed watching a football game as much as I enjoyed watching the fourth quarter and overtime.
The word fun.
Yes. Yeah, it's not.
Well, how about the fact that Diggs had an unbelievable catch, and it was the second best catch in the game?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that catch would have been a top 10 in any other season.
And Diggs, had a chance to make another great catch that he didn't. And there was about 3 catches beyond the miracle that good that Jefferson made, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I think maybe the best game of wide receivers ever had in the Viking uniform, I would say. I mean, Randy Moss scores 3 touchdowns against Green Bay by running away from him, right?
Yeah.
This guy makes all his plays in traffic. So
was he LSU?
Yes.
Yes, he was on that team with Jamar Chase from Cincinnati, who was fantastic. Yeah. And they had some. Joe Burrow had a little talent to throw to. Then, actually, I think Jefferson was probably their.
He was their number 2, but they also had Moss's kid was their tight end.
Yeah, that's right.
Thaddeus Moss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's what you're not going to see that again. The Iowa Gopher game on Saturday. It might not be that explosive. That's got a chance to be 5-3.
Wouldn't it be fun if these 2 teams were your Super Bowl teams?
Oh God, yes, a revenge.
Because
Buffalo's secondary is like the Vikings. It's all beat to hell, but their defense is real.
It's not just us. Nationally, this was talked about as the best game people have ever seen.
I was saying that Jefferson is the for this week, Jefferson becomes the face of the NFL.
That's
We're not talking about here or the regional or nothing. He is the face of the NFL right now. And at the end of this year, they have the opportunity to give him his contract extension.
Well,
and you know what I'm going to tell the Vikings?
Uh-huh.
Whatever the number, I get all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like Kirk. I get all of it.
The guarantee.
Whatever you give me, that's what you're giving me, 100% guaranteed.
Right.
And if
wouldn't blame him a bit.
And if I lose a leg in a car accident, you're
paying
still
me.
writing out the checks.
Yep.
By the way, he might still be their third best receiver in that situation, but unbelievable.
You mean with one leg?
Yeah.
Oh,
with
yeah.
one. God,
yeah.
he was great.
Yeah.
He was.
Is that bling on his teeth or braces? I'm praying that that's dentistry.
No, that'd be your grill.
Oh, he's got the grill?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got the grill. And
Is that removable?
He started the gritty. That game was so crazy yesterday, though. He hardly had time to do the gritty, right?
Well, he did I hurt my hamstring in the middle of the.
Started doing his dance. He's grabbing his leg.
And I thought, did he do that as a joke, or was
don't
he?
know.
Because he seemed fine the rest of
well,
the game.
he made the catch after that
Right.
game, after that play.
Kirk made some nice throws in the fourth quarter. Now it was like Judd said this. I talking to him today. It's like O'Connell has told him, throw the ball. If you throw an interception once in a while, we can live with it, but you can't hold it for that extra tick and get sacked like you have in the past. So now he did throw one of the worst interceptions of his life, but
I was
beyond
informed.
that, he was really good.
So did Allen.
Yep.
Oh, Allen, the second one, the last one.
The last one was
stupid.
pathetic.
Throws it into double coverage.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a defender between him and the receiver. That don't work.
Did Peterson get to wear the chains on the flight?
I saw that.
I heard he got to wear the chain.
All right. Is that a deal now?
He was also shirtless.
Yeah.
On the
I
plane.
wanted
So was Kirk.
Yep.
I wanted Kirk dressed like a Chippendale afterwards with a little crotch thing, just a little kind of a crotch cover going up and down the aisle. That was.
How are those pictures getting from the plane
the
to the
Vikings
public?
sent them out last time.
Well, there's this deal called social media, Joe.
Oh,
But the Vikings kind of let him get out this time, and Kirk's been saying, well, what happens on the plane stays on the plane, but he's loving it.
yeah.
The Star Tribune and the Pioneer Press, by the way, which kind of stays more mainstream than us. We get a little funky for ours. They do the Sports Person of the Year.
Yeah.
It's either Jefferson or Cousins.
Yeah.
I mean, because Cousins, because it's not always who's the best. Some of it is who rose up, I think maybe it's Kirk.
All right.
I think maybe it's Kirk
Has this
because
been
he's changed his image.
Well, can I ask a
completely.
quick question before you say, with the Star Tribune having their Sports Person of the Year, is that the same, and is there a same certificate when you guys used to hand out Sports Person of the Day?
Well, this is slightly more prestigious. That's true.
Slightly more
Prestigious.
At what point did we start to analyze the impact of O'Connell?
I think where they've started, and a lot of it is, they.
Are
I
they
think he's
doing
I think he's
offensive things they didn't do before?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
not.
Because he was offensive
he doesn't
coordinator
get,
for a Super
He doesn't
Bowl
get
champion.
offended if you don't run 70% of the time, and they're. He's a. Meanwhile, the Rams have gone in the toilet,
Right.
But they kind of knew that when they loaded up everything last year. But yeah, I think he's a creative offensive guy with a pretty good plan, and I think that's probably been his greatest influence. But here's the big difference: he hasn't released his kicker. For missing extra points. Zim would have had this guy out of here a month ago. When he clunked the second goalpost boy, this guy can figure out the exact worst time to miss an extra point, doesn't he?
Yes.
You're going to go ahead by 4, and then
he
you end
would have
up in
given you-
overtime.
What went into the decision today to let Daniel Carlson go?
Did you see the game?
Yeah, well, I think he's obviously a sharp guy. He played, so, and they all, they want to get into culture, all that crap.
Did you see the game?
I have a hard time. I have a hard time buying that, but I'm sure he says hello to him when he's walking down the hall and
Have
stuff.
you met him?
Just in a couple of press conferences. Yeah, he's he gives long answers, so there's not time to ask him a lot of questions.
Yeah, he's no dummy.
No. He's the Rams were known for their being secretive and they're not given. It's the modern NFL. He's a thoroughly modern coach. I would imagine he's a contender to be somebody's sports person of the year, but I would wait a little longer and see how that works out. So, anywho,
that victory came at a time when both the Timberwolves and the Wild are flailing.
Although the Timberwolves
won, they won.
Came out and they let a 24-point lead get down to 2 in the fourth quarter before they won. But D'Angelo, who we've all, I gotta say this as a confidant of the chairman of the Turkey Committee, D'Angelo was making a strong case for himself, and then he was 11 out of 13 last night and played really good.
See, I got to change subject drastically. Did your fighter make it? I heard he didn't. I heard he didn't from a kid who follows sports.
Here, I can look it up. What was the name?
Announce that?
I don't know. A kid who follows sports better than I do told me that he didn't make it. I don't know. Wouldn't that have been in the news?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
I have not.
I haven't seen it. I hope I'm not prematurely.
Patrick, why don't you give me the name and I can look it up?
Well, it's your boss. If it did, it would happen today.
Well, he told me this yesterday.
Well, then they haven't announced it yet.
Well, I don't know where he would have heard it.
They haven't. Well, he's in bad. Yeah, he was in bad shape.
He's not that plugged in.
No.
That he would have heard it.
I have.
I'm not seeing anything.
Well, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the kid's wrong.
My guy has not told me. So let me check.
This was the fight last week.
Yes. He had a bleeding brain.
The only thing I'm seeing is what you touched on last week, Patrick, as far as a news standpoint, because I just looked them up on
a couple days ago, I was told that there was been some improvement. But,
well, then maybe this kid's wrong. Maybe he heard something wrong.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't bet again. They're really covering it up, and it was touch and go at best, So, and it was.
Everson wasn't happy last night.
No.
They blew a 2-0 lead to the Shark, who are last place in the West.
The Shark took their big run when they got Burns and the rest of those guys, and they were pretty good there for a couple of years, but they've faded now.
Is Burns gone? Is he out of the league?
I think he's still there. He's beard down to his knees. And,
I didn't see any of the hockey game last night, unfortunately.
No, I actually forgot they were playing, so I didn't watch.
Well, it was a 5 o'clock start.
And both them and the Wolves started at the same time. The Wolves were out of town.
Boy, the Wolves tried to hand that one back to Cleveland, though, yesterday, didn't they?
24-point lead, down to 2. Down to 2. Unbelievable. So I got to tell you, I told you I went over and watched the Tommies Friday night. Pretty good.
Basketball, yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. They got this guard from Brookfield Central Catholic, a freshman. He's really good.
What state is that?
Wisconsin.
Oh.
And they got Riley Miller, who was a Benilde kid, who has been there all the time, one of the best three-point shooters in the country. Got a big kid from Totino, who's a pretty good player. And they beat Chicago State by 22 when I was there. Chicago State's playing the Gophers on December 22nd. And yesterday, the Gophers played St. Francis of Brooklyn on Friday night and beat them by 20-some. St. Thomas beat them by 36 yesterday afternoon. But the Gophers can't play St. Thomas and save themselves 4.1 miles from Williams Arena to Schoenecker Arena. You give them a check for $5,000 and they'll come over and play. Instead, they're giving 40,000 or 50,000 of these teams to come in and draw 4,500 people. It's ridiculous.
What is St. Thomas going to do for a basketball facility?
If they get to a bigger time, yeah, because they're playing in that gym that's only
it holds 2,500 people, if that.
Yeah. Oh, if they pack them in and stand them all over the place. The seating is, I think, 1,700 or something. They only had the influence of the Vikings. They had 600 people yesterday. Really? Everybody's You don't want to go head to head with the Vikings when they're playing Buffalo. That's for certain.
Are they still? Is there still uncertainty around a lot of that? Because here's what I thought when the soccer stadium was open. I know that there was talk that St. Thomas football might play in that venue.
I don't know why they can't.
Well, why can't they do that? Then just use the site of the football stadium and then build your arena there. You build a multi-purpose arena.
But what
there.
are you going to do for football?
Play at the soccer stadium.
Allianz.
They can't.
No, I just mean for the time being. Why can't they just do that and then build a facility where the football stadium is right now?
I don't know what they're landlocked. You know, I don't know who the members are, but Town and Country should sacrifice its land and let St. Thomas, a good,
I don't think
loyal institution,
I don't think
take over. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Oh, picturesque.
Looking down the river. And,
well, there is a number, though. I mean, there is a number.
You know what's happening? Hiawatha's being reduced to 9 holes. Maybe Town and Country could sell them half the course.
There we go.
Half the course. What do you think?
I hope that's shelved.
I think it's shelved, don't you?
Yeah.
I think it's shelved.
You know what, though? There is that old saying, everything's for sale.
Right. Everyone's got their number.
There's got to be a number.
Because you also...
I texted, no change. He's improving to some point.
Good.
So, anyway.
All right, good.
But I wouldn't bet anything because the Kazakhstanis who were in charge of him, they kept, they're old Ruskies. They kept telling the media back there in the world, the doctors tell us he's fine. He'll be out in a couple of weeks, which is a complete lie. But I think from their old experience as a member of the Soviet Union, they've been known to fib to the public to some degree. So that could be part of it.
Have you made your wild debut yet?
No, but I was looking at the schedule. Maybe the day after Thanksgiving. That's usually a matinee, isn't it? Yeah. That's usually a matinee. And, I don't think Black Friday is what it used to be, right?
No, in fact, Johnny Height had the story a while ago that a lot of the places aren't even going to be open.
Early. They just opened.
Well, I was at
Black Friday. They're open. They're closed Thanksgiving.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought because I was at a large.
Nobody's going to close on Friday.
Well, what I'm saying is I was at a large retailer last week and they already had their Black Friday specials out. So that's what I'm wondering if people are just going to get out of their system ahead of time.
Well, plus a lot of it, Amazon and those people run their specials too, and on those days, and everybody's. I'm waiting for the march up our steps a few days after Black Friday with the Amazon. The
cardboard
truck,
delivery.
Pulling up and leaving stuff out on the steps.
I'd love a cardboard-free month.
With Christmas coming,
not going to happen.
How many grandkids we up to? 9? Let's see.
Soon to be 11.
So you got 10.
Yep.
You got 2 more than last time I talked to you.
Yep.
Yeah, 9. Then now you got 11.
No, there's been 10 for 2 years.
Well, you told me 9. You lost track.
Well, Dan, that was years ago.
No, that was about 2 months
maybe
ago.
I forgot.
I forgot one.
You're going to have to be like Larry Hennig, the wrestler.
Yeah.
He gave numbers. He had like 23 of them.
Or what was the Hard Knocks with Antonio Cromartie? Well, my God. But he was counting his kids.
Yeah, right.
He's like, well, there's, there were 2 kids that had the same first name.
Yes, right.
Because he had various ladies in his life.
Who's Adam Carter?
He was a pop singer.
Well, he pays $3 million a year in child support.
He just died.
He was the one that just passed away.
Oh, not him. Who am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
There's a lot of them. Yeah, Adam Carter's also on The Big Neighbor.
Yeah, that's a different Adam.
Not the guy who just died is not Adam Carter.
Yes.
His
Adam
name
Carter.
was something else.
Adam Carter.
He was one of the brothers. The brothers, what were they called? Brothers Karamazov? Who the hell were they? What brothers were they?
They just died.
It's
well,
not
Adam
Carter.
Carter just died.
Aaron Carter.
Aaron.
No.
Yeah, it's Aaron Carter. You're right.
Aaron Carter.
Who the
Aaron
hell's
Carter.
Adam Carter, Joe?
There's some rap guy that's got 50 kids or something, and he apparently pays for them, and he wants people to know that. I don't remember his name. It's a rap guy. He's got a lot of money. Pays alimony or something.
Not a big believer in the silicone wrapping, this fella.
Apparently not. There's a lot of kids. Reavers, you ought to be.
not a
That's
lot
pop
of it.
culture, man. You ought to be able to find that.
I know what you're referring
He
to.
just
but-
died.
Just type Google rapper with a lot of kids.
Well, Joe, I did do that, and a lot of search engines came up, and nobody with the last
How
name of
about
Carter.
rapper pays $3 million a year?
in
child support.
Rapper.
Yeah, you'll find it. You can get it. I love that picture. If I was a really Viking nut, I'd almost keep that picture of Jefferson catching
Nick
that.
Cannon.
That's it.
Nick
Cannon.
Cannon.
I knew there was a C
Nick's
in there.
using that cannon. Oh, man.
Nick Cannon estimates that he pays more than $3 million in child support every year as he prepares for the arrival of baby number 12.
Hey, that's right.
The other day, the wife and I just started watching the Shadows of Motown again. The greatest
Standing in the
documentary.
Shadows of Motown.
Standing in the Shadows of Motown. And then I happened to be at a red light, and a guy next to me had the outside volume on the outside speaker deal on the listen to the hardcore rap.
All right.
How can you, as a reasonable human being, listen to the Motown songs and then listen to this crap and think you're improving, think it's better? How can you think it's better?
The key is you said a reasonable human being.
Yes.
You're not unreasonable.
It's not. This is the greatest music of American history. Soul music of the 60s and 70s, and the Supremes, the official band of Monday Night Sports Talk, the official group of Monday Night Sports Talk.
See, I didn't know that.
We used to play the Supremes
We
a
did?
lot. Yes, we did.
I don't recall that we named them the
called
band.
well, not the band, the official group of, Hey, there's a new thing on with the sick society in which we live in.
Yeah.
So you go to YouTube. I was going to look. Katie and I went to see Bocelli, the opera singer, right?
That's the one in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's, still around. He's blind, and he's 64 years old. And on YouTube, there's 2 or 3 different things videos that they sent out about him dying, and about with a voice, a very sounds like a hospital voice describing all the ailments that he's had and he's suffered from, and he's fine. He's not. And then I saw one of these for Diana Ross too.
I saw one for Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
I asked you, Reavers,
Yeah,
why
you
did
did.
how can they do that?
Who's
Isn't that against the law?
I don't know.
What do they accomplish by getting hits then?
Well, I don't know
Or
the
they
certain
just,
parameters
or they
of it,
just
but
think it's funny?
no, there's an obvious means by which they're doing this, and that's probably to appease advertisers with the amount of web traffic that they're generating.
Okay, and without having.
But that's against the law.
and the
I'm
web-
not disagreeing with that. I'm just
the
trying to
web-
explain
and the
why they're
web
doing
traffickers, the web people don't care.
it. No, there's no
They-
integrity
they,
whatsoever.
They do not care how you got your hits.
Nope.
As long as you're getting some hits.
Correct.
Because, there was like 2 or 3 of these. I said, Katie, and then I said, wait a minute. Then I looked on my phone, and there's nothing.
And that's why what they're doing is they're just simply trying to do exactly what they did to both of you. They're just merely trying to get you to get from whatever you happen to be looking up to clicking on that particular story. And in this case, it worked twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what I'm accomplishing, because usually they have on there you can skip the ad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But in other words, the advertisers on these phony things are vile SOBs
Yes.
who should be, ignored completely.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize how common it was.
Oh, yeah. It happens a lot more than you would think.
Yeah. It's brutal.
And then once you do click on something like that, the chances of it happening again go up because then there's these algorithms that we talked about before where they're going to say, well, hey, this particular subscriber is more likely to click on this, so let's feed them some more nonsense.
Boy, they're so sharp now, man. The one they send your emails and your text to you. If you did not charge $992 for something you've never heard of.
Click here.
Click here.
No, don't.
Don't click there. Don't click there.
So you two need to start doing what I do almost daily, and that's any text or whatever, block the number instantly.
Who you don't know.
How do you block it? I don't know how to block it.
I'll show you how, but it's very easy because I've had to do the same thing with my wife. I said, don't respond to it.
No,
it's just, it's fake. Just block the number.
And when you get to an advanced age, they really think they're praying that they get you and you're senile, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you know, in a couple of years they might hit gold.
Well, what I like to do though, Pat, is anytime I see something for an extended car warranty, I like to sign up your number for that because I know he had a tirade in the producer's room years ago. Whoever this gal is about car warranty expiring.
Some comedian was appearing at one of the local casinos, and they ran a commercial for it. I thought she had a pretty good line.
What's that?
She said her parents bought a Lincoln Town Car.
Okay.
She said that happens to be a favorite car of Uber drivers, so I signed them up to be Uber drivers. They had no knowledge that call
Why are
was
these
coming.
people walking to our car?
Right.
Yes. Yes.
That's pretty good.
Anyway, Joe and I agree. We have never seen a better Viking game.
Nope.
It was fantastic. It was. I wonder by the fourth quarter what the number in the Twin Cities was.
90%.
Oh man!
It had to be. It had to be.
Did the country get that game?
They did eventually because once it ran past,
Once it bled through,
all the other games were
You got
over.
an extra half hour for the country.
Now, the Packer fans were very upset
Yes.
in the Twin Cities because they couldn't watch the Packer
Did you see Rodgers erupt at his coach?
Oh, really?
Ooh,
No.
It was vile.
Well,
And then he ended up winning it.
and then they came. When was this in the second half? He went after him
They said something that it appeared to be unkind.
because what did the guy send in a bad play
I
or
guess,
got?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they beat the Cowboys, who were supposed to be a big challenge for our plucky Vikings. So
That'll be a hot ticket for Sunday.
Now, is that a home game?
they're
Yes,
here Sunday.
afternoon.
They're home next 2 weeks.
Oh, you know what? It's the late game.
It's the prime time game.
3:30
It's the
game.
late game, and then 4 days later on Thanksgiving night, New England is here.
Really?
with,
They have a
Billy Boy.
Thanksgiving night game?
Yes, yeah. They're
Is that new in the NFL?
No,
No, it's
they
been around
have
for a
they
while.
have the Lions game,
That's
and they
always
have
been
the
a
Cowboys game, and then the night game moves around.
I didn't know we had a night game.
Did you see where Seattle and somebody played on
In Germany.
Sunday? They played in Germany.
Yeah, Brady won.
Brady, yes, Tampa beat Seattle, dude, and Seattle's unlikely run.
They had
there.
the largest attendance, and apparently they had just shy of 70,000, and apparently there were 3 million ticket requests
It was in
Really?
for the football game. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, unbelievable.
I wonder if, obviously Brady played a huge role, so you wonder.
What's the NFL's plan here?
Just to make all the money in
Global
the
dominance.
world. Yes, it is. It is.
Are they going to start having more games in Europe?
Oh, hell yes.
They like, you get a fourth game. You got the noon, you got the 3:15, and you got the 7.
This gives you
Now you're
8:30 in the
getting
morning.
8 and 30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And
I forgot they were on.
yeah,
I didn't watch
watch it either. I don't. No, listen. If you get the package, right,
The ticket.
with all the games,
Yep.
the ticket, and I'm claiming I'm getting the ticket. Okay. Yeah, I was the other day. Now last Sunday, there was nothing to watch. They all stunk.
Yeah, there
Every
wasn't a
game.
good
I had no
selection last
games.
week.
I had no games I wanted to
Is
watch.
that the same as the NFL Network? The ticket?
No, this
no,
is different.
No.
This is a
Yeah,
direct TV
What's
deal.
the red zone?
That is where you get every scoring play, highlights, drives. They go from game to game. It's great.
It's
the
very
red zone.
confusing to me. so I
Yes,
don't
but
know what
it's
we're doing here.
fantastic
Who's
because you
playing?
don't have to watch all the crap. You don't have to sit around and wait for the result of a replay.
Yeah.
They just go somewhere else.
They also don't take commercial breaks, which is nice.
None at all?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right, I think.
That's not likely.
I don't like the split screen, though. They go to, they love it. And then once in a while, they'll have 4 screens going. And
I get really confused.
They love that. Well, yeah, but they're showing you the best place, who's closest to the end zone at whatever games are going on. So it's pretty good.
So, you know what's at stake tonight? If the Vikings will have the best record in football.
Yes. Yeah,
that's at stake.
The Eagles, they will. Are the Eagles 8-0?
Yes.
The Eagles are.
So the Eagles.
No. Wait.
Yes, they are.
Eagles are 8-0.
Never mind.
They'll share the best record.
The big question will be if it's a shared best record in football.
And the Eagles did beat our brains bloody, but the Eagles aren't playing as well.
Commanders aren't that good.
Nah, the Commanders have no offense, Joe. Yeah. No. So.
Who's quarterback? Not Wentz.
No, it's Taylor Heineke.
Former Viking great.
Yeah.
Former Viking great. I'm not watching it.
Was he a Viking? Heineke?
He was.
But he never played. But he was kid third stringer or someplace. I don't know.
Out of Old Dominion.
Did we have Taylor Heineke fever from a couple of exhibition games or something? So. I don't know if we did.
No, you're confusing him with McLeod Bethel Thompson.
And Kyle Sloter. We had Kyle Sloter fever. That's for sure.
Look at Green Bay vault into second place in the standings.
And the Bears did the impossible.
They lost to Detroit.
They blew a, 17-point lead?
Something like that.
I think something like that. They blew a 17-point lead.
They're the only
quarter.
team to lose consecutive games in which they've had over 250 rushing yards in both games.
Wow.
And unfortunately, the weather in Philadelphia looks perfect.
Yeah. Well, not here, baby.
No.
Snow tomorrow, 90% chance. How much is we going to end up with before
3
this
inches
is over? I brought the wife's Volvo, the little snowplow she has.
All-wheel drive.
Much better in the snow than my
That's right.
my Buick convertible.
Right.
A little light in the rear end, those convertibles. Yeah.
You got front-wheel drive in that Buick?
Yes, I do. Yeah. I do. But
can't go top down in this weather either.
No. I think that might be over for a while.
A Royce walk can only be with the top down,
yes,
correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not real big on walking in the walk. You know what? We really should have gotten a dog after our dog died.
Why don't you? There's time.
It's too late.
No, there isn't.
No.
What do you
They
mean
run
it's
your
too late?
life, but it got me out of. I went from walking 7-8 miles a week, probably.
Yeah.
To 7-8 blocks, maybe.
Well, get a dog. Get another dog.
Yeah, I want one trained. I want the poopless
You can get them
one.
that way.
I told you I want.
You want a poopless dog?
I want the poopless dog. Which
Do
would
you
make,
as sell
you
a poopless
said,
model?
Would make them very ornery.
Would they be you know what? They'd be anxious.
They would be a very ornery dog.
They wouldn't say woof. They go.
That's good. You got more than you deserve to get.
We do know we have to ask Pat a question. Remember,
Okay,
we got
what's
the
the
email.
question?
I don't remember who it was from.
remember
Asking
the
if
question.
Patrick has watched Facing Nolan yet on Netflix. Have you seen
I started. I didn't finish it.
Oh,
but
okay.
I might finish it up.
He threw a no-hitter, Pat, with a bone chip in his elbow.
Yeah. He was. I'm going to give that guy a bow tie.
Would Rocco have let him finish? Would Rocco let him go 9?
Yeah. How about the one? Didn't he throw 211 pitches or once and won a game once? 200.
Never won a Cy Young Award.
Really?
Never.
That's unbelievable.
He lost one year to Jim Palmer when he was the league strikeout leader and had a no-hitter.
Well, plus he pitched 300 innings.
Well, he can walk a guy,
7,
too.
8. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my all-time Nolan event is at the All-Star game starting for Houston when they were in the National League. Mm-hmm. And he knocked Winnie and Ricky Henderson on their asses because he was still mad about something they did when he faced them in the American League. And he flipped Winnie, and he buzzed Ricky. Ricky had hit a home run off him and trotted, and I don't know what Winnie'd done. But he was still mad because All-Star game, first inning, he buzzes 2 guys, throws at their head, basically. He was giving that guy a bow tie. The guys who covered him loved him, the Texas boys in Houston and Texas.
Galloway's quoted in this thing.
Oh, is he?
He's pictured.
Oh, Galloway. Yeah, Galloway.
Was he
the greatest?
Was he a good quote? Nolan? Is that why
Yeah,
they
he
left?
was. Well, he'd answer questions.
Okay.
He wasn't, and then he became an executive with both teams.
True.
And was a candid guy. He was. Their other buddy with the Dallas was George.
Yeah.
They loved George. They
Yeah.
called George at home.
Yep.
5 years later, he was president.
Right.
They'd call him at home and say, yeah, and George would have a few toddies in him and give him some good responses. And then he, 5 years later, he was president. That was one of our greatest needling ever. Ringolsby's knew George well from Texas. He was buddies with George. And he had Tracy would always end up feuding with the beat guy from the other paper, because he was, cutthroat. And the guy named Mike Kliss, who wasn't a bad guy, but Tracy thought he was. So we're at the 2001 World Series. George is there to, after 9/11. And he's in the booth next to him, and as somebody raps him on the window, and he waves to Tracy, But, of course, Wicker immediately, when he sees Tracy in a couple of innings, he says, that was nice the way he waved to Kliss there, wasn't it? Hey, Wick quit, right? He retired.
I didn't know that.
Yep, he's done. He told me he's done. He's now writing for this Substack, his own Substack site.
I don't know what that
making no
means,
money.
Substack.
It means you just have a place to write your stuff, and he's writing like 4 columns a week for nothing, giving it away free.
Why?
I don't know. He can't read. I told him he couldn't give it up, but he said, "Nah, I'm done." But
How old is he?
68, I think.
That's too young to
Yeah,
retire.
yeah, I think he's 67 or 8. Yeah. So,
All right.
anyway,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
Vikings, you put on a show for us,
Yes, you
boys.
did.
You have heard me discuss my relationship with Josh Arnold for some time. The reason I advocate that you give Josh a call is simple. Trust and results. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions. As has been said, through all of our relationship, past results do not guarantee future returns. And while that is true, Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. You can understand that Josh will make sure you are not paying more in fees than you are seeing in returns. Yes, that is more common than you would like to think. Do yourself a favor and have a booking with Josh for the 48-minute free evaluation. This is a no-obligation meeting. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. You will be glad that you did.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Patrick Royce is a paid endorser.
This is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. When Tyreek Hill signed with the Miami Dolphins, we all thought, what the hell is he doing? What made many scratch their heads even further was comments praising Tua's accuracy. In fact, people got tired of listening to Tyreek Hill. They would go as far as to just tell him to just shut up and focus on football. Well, the Miami Dolphins are 7-3. Tua Tagovailoa is near 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns with 3 interceptions. Not to mention the Dolphins now sit at the top of the AFC East. Well, they can hear you now, Tyreek. Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. BetOnline.net is your #1 source for sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there. From football to basketball to soccer and esports, we've got it all at BetOnline.net. And if you love sports podcasts, you can find those at BetOnline as well. We're always the fastest and easiest way to get your betting fix. And don't forget, BetOnline for NHL, MMA, boxing, and golf exists at BetOnline.net as well. Head to the website today or use a mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts.